Yes.
I thought I had. Come on, man, wake up.
Well, people were clearing their throats and things. It would have been an awful lot of editing that I recorded earlier. This is the quietest I've seen you all, heard you all.
Morning.
Strange.
Tired.
Strange.
Okay, no.
Right. Okay, so let's things moving with John's news of the.
News of the group. News of the group. Not a lot of is happening. Or what's happened this last week. Eric's had a good holiday in Weston-super-Mare, known for its pier and John Cleese, and now Eric. Dave, you went to Scarborough, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no cricket.
Not very good.
Weren't it? Bad weather.
Weather were bad. My sister-in-law went with us and she fell down and broke her hip.
Oh, blimey. Tell you
So
what.
she had an operation yesterday.
Yeah.
So things weren't good. And that was first day.
First day.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Wish you well for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Tell her there's a lot of old men thinking about her.
yeah.
And a hip.
I've got my hospital procedure tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I hope that goes well, Dave.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
I saw Ed on Saturday. Visited his the care home. He was in very good form.
Yeah.
Very good. He flirted with everybody on site, including several nurses 100 yards away going down the street. Yeah. Yeah. He's doing some long distance flirting now. Talked to Brian and he was ironing before going out with his dancing girls. These literally aren't dancing girls. These are just ladies that he goes dancing with, like tea dancing. But it sounds good if he's going out with dancing girls. Yeah. But Sainsbury's last week, there were 16 of us and it went pretty well. Maybe a couple less this week because there's like with Dave won't be there and there's 2 or 3 other people can't make it, but a couple who can make it who couldn't last week. There's a Sporting Memories Northern Region Zoom meeting on Thursday that I shall attend, but whether it's of any use to us long term, I don't know, because we sort of dispensed with them about 3 years ago. So I'll just see what the lie of the land is and see if we can get any money out of them for something or other.
Yeah, John, Ian's got a question.
Who was?
The email you got from them sounded a bit sinister, as if we were treading on toes. We're not, are we?
Oh no! How can we be?
Well,
we'll see anyway. If it turns out to be.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ron.
Yes, Ron.
Are they a bit worried about us using the name Sporting Memories and not being in part of the group?
That's what I was worried about, Darth, and you know that would impact the website and the rest of it. And my line is, we're part of Sporting Memories indirectly. It was set up through the foundation. You all went on courses, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we did. We went on supposedly courses, but it tended to be them asking us what to do. Yes. Really, how it should be run. But anyway, what's in a name? If they get fussy and they're upset about the name, we can easily change the name slightly. Personally, I'm not fussed about it.
I thought that's hours of work, John. That's I'd have.
Well, if that's hours of work for you in that case, I was dismissing it lightly. Stop taking the funicular. Yeah. We'll see anyway. It might be something or nothing. Maybe we'll get something from them. And finally, the Sheffield World Cup squad. I don't know if all of you on screen now have had a copy of the list of footballers and managers associated with Sheffield and the World Cup. But Glyn is really pleased with the feedback he's had and the returns he's had so far. He's making good progress. I will remember to bring him to the meeting tomorrow, the sheets I've got. But have all of you on screen had copies from Keith maybe or myself of the
I
world.
sent it off already, John,
Yeah.
by email.
Yeah, I've
good.
already done it, John.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I've seen yours, Chris. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're not a United, are you, Chris? Yeah.
Pardon?
I said you're not a United, are you?
Well, only the best.
Yeah.
Particularly
Only
Martin
the best.
Peters, cracking manager.
Oh dear.
Was
Don't
that
go
his
there,
Sunday League
please.
side? Yeah. Anyway,
I got him
onwards.
playing, but not a manager.
Player manager.
Player manager, yeah.
It was tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I thought so.
He did take us down to the 4th division.
He took you down to 4th division.
Yeah.
That was the
He's one of
mission
my
to save the
heroes.
Football League, weren't it, Keith?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
To finance the lower divisions.
Yeah, I regard him with new respect. And he's my sort of manager. He did for you what Neil Warnock wanted to do for us. But anyway, that's it. Thank you very much.
All right. Any questions
you.
now? So
Any
we'll
question?
no. So we'll move swiftly on to Lowell's News of the Week.
News of the week. News of the week.
News of the
Morning,
week.
folks. I'm going to start with some good news and some bad
Oh, it
news.
is.
Now, the bad news, I've got 2 obituaries to read out, and the good news, it's nothing to do with any of us. Now, the first one is bowling. Now, bowls legend David Bryant, the winner of multiple Commonwealth gold medals and world titles, has died at age 88. The Englishman won 6 world singles titles, 3 indoor, 3 outdoor, while 4 of his 5 Commonwealth golds were in singles competition. He also formed a formidable partnership with Tony Alcock, with whom he won 6 world indoor pairs titles. Famous for playing with a pipe in his mouth, the game has lost one of its characters.
Yeah.
You remember him all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You never seem to be
I
on
was
television
quite
all the time.
surprised. I was quite surprised at his age. I didn't realise he was that old.
I didn't realise
88,
that.
You know, it
Yeah.
surprised me.
See, all that smoking did for him in the end.
Yeah.
The next one, we'll nip on to tennis. BBC commentator and former tennis umpire David Mercer has died aged 70. Mercer, who umpired the 1984 Wimbledon final between John McEnroe and Jimmy Connors, was part of BBC's commentary team for the Wimbledon Grand Slam for the past 35 years.
Wow.
He started his sports broadcasting career in 1979 after winning a BBC Wales competition, becoming a full-time broadcaster 5 years later. Mercer was appointed the corporation's tennis correspondent in 1990. Any comments on that?
What did he die of, Lowell?
It was just a sudden death. So it was a heart attack. Said it was sudden. I don't think he'd been ill. But 70, it's young, isn't it, really, these days?
Yeah.
It is.
Now, keeping on tennis, doubles legends Bob and Mike Bryan, the most successful men's doubles team of all time, have announced their retirement with immediate effect. The 42-year-old American twins previously announced their intention to retire following the 2020 US Open, but had bowed out early because there would be no fans to watch them at Flushing Meadows. They won a record 119 tournaments, including 16 Grand Slams.
Ooh.
That's fantastic.
You'd think they'd go for 120, wouldn't you? Just because there's no fans there.
Yep. They say they can't play in front of an empty stadium.
It is different, isn't it? I mean, I'm seeing
Oh,
in a
yeah.
lot of sports that the lack of spectators is affecting the standard of play. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, without a doubt, because it generates energy, and there's energy feeds between the crowd and the. I've had personal experience of that on stage. When you're playing to 30 people in a sizable arena, it's difficult to get the energy going. But when you've got 250 buzzing at a panto, then there's feedback, and it must be the same in a sports arena.
You get adrenaline starts running.
You do.
Right.
Yeah.
See, when I refereed, I had the opposite effect. There were 20,000 in at kickoff and about 3,000 at end.
Yeah, but go on, Dave.
Yeah, I heard on Sky they were talking about the empty stadiums and penalty shootouts, saying that there's not the same pressure on the penalty shootouts with there being no fans in as there would be if there were people behind the goal trying to put you off, etc. So I don't know what we think about that.
I think Jurgen Klopp would agree with you.
It's interesting that, because I don't know if you noticed or whether it was just a coincidence, but the number of what we call mass confrontations and players surrounding the referee, it seemed to disappear when there were no spectators there.
Yeah.
So it's clearly some sort of psychological effect, isn't it, that happens. Very, very strange.
I bet referees in Argentina, Brian, are delighted that nobody shooted at them.
Well, I'm going to say,
Then nobody to shoot them.
going to say crowd or no crowd, it doesn't stop the bullets, does it? But there you go.
No, you've got telescopic sights and sniper rifles now.
I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I find watching it on television is not the same. I watched the test match and the one days, or the 2020s, and I couldn't get as interested in it as I would have done if the crowd had been there.
I don't mind watching the test match and the cricket.
I don't know if anybody else thinks the same.
But you're right, there's something missing. But I can't keep my concentration on football. It just wanes.
Yeah. I'm sort of with Ian on that. The cricket, I forgot that there wasn't a crowd there, so it was just like watching a normal game. But maybe it's because we had too many games in too short a period to watch, and it all,
and they all, big mistake.
Yeah, they all blended into one.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Okay. Well,
keep you on with tennis. The American Open opened yesterday, and Britain's Cameron Norrie fought back from 2 sets down to earn a memorable win over Argentina's 9th seed Diego Schwartzman on day one of the US Open. Norrie, ranked 76, looked set for a routine defeat before turning it around to win 3-6, 4-6, 6-2, 6-1, 7-5 in New York.
Yeah.
Both struggled to hold serve in a match with 58 break points. Norrie saved 2 match points in the decider before winning in almost 4 hours of play. Anybody watch it, or didn't you?
No, but he's not the only one that's got through. Our number 2, can you remember his name? I can't. He's got through as well.
Kyle Edmund.
That's he's
got Djokovic in the next round.
Oh, lucky him.
So
Didn't you play for United, him? Didn't you have about 7 Kyles at one time, United? Was he one of them?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right on to Formula One. Starting once again in pole position, Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton dominated the Belgian Grand Prix to take his 5th victory in 7 races this year and the 89th of his career. Teammate Valtteri Bottas came 2nd, Red Bull's Max Verstappen 3rd. The victory puts Hamilton on 47 points, which is almost 2 clear wins ahead of Verstappen in the championship. He is 2 wins away from Michael Schumacher's all-time record and is set to equal his 7 titles. Anybody watch the Grand Prix?
Yeah, and that is one sport, lol, that having no spectators made no difference whatsoever, in my view. I still find it fascinating. I think the commentary is brilliant.
Yeah.
I want,
Go on.
from the start off, he set off. He just left everybody behind right from the start.
Yeah.
Chung.
Well, he won by 8 seconds over second, didn't he? So
Yeah.
Well, in the
Andy had a smoking tyre.
yeah, he did.
in going
Maybe
for,
Brian's pipe.
in going for pole position, he was half a second faster than Bottas. Half a second in one lap.
Mm.
Phenomenal setup.
Mm.
What's all the business with the tyres, Lee? It seems to be non-stop tyre trouble, isn't it?
Mm.
They're changing the regs a lot, and I think they're trying to find different parameters to get the dominance of one particular car out of it. And let's face it, the British Grand Prix and then the one the following week, Mercedes nearly lost it because of poor tyre management.
Mm.
And I think that makes it all the more interesting. In my view, anyway.
Yeah.
Only because you've got shares in tyres.
Yeah. Right. Keeping on with Formula One. Now, Formula One has named the races that will conclude the 2020 season. There's going to be 4 more Grand Prix in 3 different countries: Turkey, Bahrain, and Abu Dhabi. And that will bring the calendar to a total of 17 races, which is the lowest number since 2009. The Turkish Grand Prix on the 15th of November marks a return for the Istanbul Park track for the first time in 9 years. Now, Formula One is to use a brand new layout of Bahrain's Sakhir track for the second race, to be held in the Gulf state this year. The first will be held on the usual Grand Prix circuit, while the second will be on what is known as Sakhir's outer circuit. This shortens the track to 2.28 miles and is expected to produce a qualifying lap times of less than 55 seconds. These events are to be held on the 29th of November and 6th of December.
They have to
Right.
make
Is that Bahrain?
Yeah,
Is that Bahrain?
yes.
Yeah.
They're having 2 races. They're having 2, and the other 2 countries just 1 each.
They've got to brush the sand away before they get that 55 seconds. It's like a beach.
Yeah.
Well, they won't
I've
they won't
seen
be
it.
much overtaking then, will they?
I don't know why they have to use 2 different tracks though for consecutive weeks.
They're just trying to get the
Different
race.
race.
They're just trying to get the race in, Lowell. That's why we had 2 in Britain. I think they've done it well. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's
this
an odd
is
competition. It's an odd
these are 2
competition.
different tracks, aren't they, Ian?
Sorry?
They weren't 2 different tracks in England, were they?
No, but I think all they're trying to do is keep the competition going. As you said, it's the shortest competition ever. But yeah, and it is the only competition where you don't actually know when you're taking part, when it will actually finish. But
No.
you know, it's still kept my interest, and good luck to them.
Mm.
It'll be interesting to see what this new track's like anyway for the second race.
Yeah,
But right,
Sandy.
Pardon?
Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah, I hear you now. I'm
Yes,
going to
Dan.
horse racing now. Now, Holly Doyle became the first female jockey to ride 5 winners on the same card in Britain, with a remarkable 899-1 quintuple at Windsor. The 23-year-old sealed her first Royal Ascot win in June and won 4 times at Wolverhampton last month. So she's a potential jockey that's going to go far, I think, Holly.
Did you see the lad that won the race yesterday? The first time a blind man has won a horse race. When I say blind, he has only one eye. He says he didn't know where the other horses were. He was listening for them, so he just kept going. Thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Okay. A little bit more on horse racing. The
Yeah.
Southwell Racecourse and British Horse Racing Authority are investigating 6 horse deaths at the track in the past month. It includes 3 deaths 2 weekends ago at the Nottingham track, where racing returned in July. Animal charity World Horse Welfare said the figures were very alarming and raised its concerns with the BHA. Fatality figures in British racing have decreased it to an all-time low at the present. But there's something obviously wrong at that track. Anybody else hear about that who was interested in horses?
No, I didn't.
No.
Sounds very sinister.
Yep. Now, a little bit on golf. Now, John Rahm beat Dustin Johnson on the first hole of a playoff in a dramatic climax to the BMW Championship at Olympia Fields in Illinois, Chicago. Now, Spaniard Rahm looks set to be crowned champion after a bogey-free 6 under 64 left him on 4 under par for the tournament. But Johnson, who won last week by 11 shots, holed a 43-foot putt on the last hole to force a playoff. Rahm then holed an even longer putt of 66 feet on the same green in the playoff, while the Americans' effort finished just short. So that was a good finish. You see it on the television, that
Yeah.
last putt, they showed it, didn't they, how much it curved.
Yeah, it turned 90 degrees, didn't it?
More or less, yeah. Now we come on to a bit of cricket. Now, England brilliantly chased 196 to beat Pakistan by 5 wickets in the T20 match at Old Trafford to take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series after the first game was ruined by the weather. Captain Owen Morgan smashed a 33-ball 66 and David Malan was 55 not out as England completed their 3rd highest run chase with 5 balls to spare. Mohammad Hafiz hit 69 from 36 balls and Babar Azam 56 in Pakistan's 195 for 4. The final T20 is today starting at 6 p.m. I've got a few stats from that game. Now Morgan's 4 sixes take him to 110 in total in T20 games, and that's 50 odd more than the nearest Englishman. It's the first time in 21 years, that a live England cricket match has been shown on BBC TV. David Malan is the only English team player to score 750s in his first 12 T20 games. 21-year-old Tim Banton became the youngest England player to score a half-century in T20 cricket, as he hit 4 fours and 5 sixes in his 71 or 42 balls in the first game, which was a washout. Now, Pakistan's highest ever T20 score versus England was 174, but that was beaten this last weekend when they scored their 195 for 4. It's only the second time that Pakistan have failed to defend a score of over 175. The first one was 10 years ago when they played Australia. So it was a good win for England.
Yeah.
Now Yorkshire had a great win in the T20 Blast at Headingley on Sunday. Posting a score of 220 for 5 in their innings, Yorkshire reduced Derbyshire to 121 for 9 in their 20 overs, so winning by 99 runs. Anybody any comments on cricket? Yes?
No.
What about yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, Yorkshire's game against
They
Nottingham.
blew it yesterday.
They lost.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that one though.
Going back to the international.
Don't smile too much, Chris.
Why
In
not?
both camps, I can't lose.
Yes, Ian.
I don't know if you picked up the news today. Joe Root has been dropped from T20s.
That's right.
Yeah.
To allow him to focus on the one-day internationals and the main internationals. And what came across to me is that English cricket is in really good health at the moment. They've got so much depth.
We have.
Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah.
They might even
It's a
invite Chris Hall to play. You never know.
Would he get in the team?
Well, he might be 12th man, holding the oranges.
Well, it could open with Keith Jackson.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I've done that
I'd be-
before.
I'll be at number three anyway.
Yeah, and Colin number 3, yeah.
I'm wicket keeper.
I don't think you fancy facing Jimmy Anderson, though, would you? Or Chris
Yeah.
Broad?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, they don't
Dave,
bowl.
it
They
is.
don't bowl the stumps that much, do they? They're always, down the leg side or offside. So
Yeah. Dave?
Interesting, Colin, talking about wicket keepers. What do we think about the wicket keeper situation?
Interesting.
Well, they should always have the best wicket keeper, come what may.
Have to have the best at all times.
So who do we think then?
Because it's vital. We've seen drop catches, this last series. haven't we?
Stumpings as well.
Yeah.
I think for
Well, best of
internationals,
it's
I'd
the
agree with you,
stumping,
but I think the batting expertise for T20 and ODIs brings a different complexion. But for the internationals, I think you're right. I think you need the
Of the
best.
test
keeper.
matches.
Yes.
Tests, yeah.
Yeah.
So who do we think is the best?
Well, without a doubt, is that what's his name begin with F? Ford.
Forbes.
Oaks from Surrey, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I couldn't remember his name. I knew he played for Surrey.
Yeah.
Everybody's on about him, but he doesn't get a
How
look.
good a batsman is he?
Not as good.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
I know he's not as good.
It's potential, You don't find out if you don't play him, do you?
Exactly right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Needs a chance.
But for a long time, England have picked batsmen who can do a bit of wicket keeping rather than a wicket keeper who can bat a bit.
Well, we've
I mean,
always
it goes
been.
back to Alex Stewart was the same.
Well,
We've
you
always
put in
been short.
Gilchrist
That
for that.
prior.
We've always been short of consistent batting, so it's been a sort of contingency. I think they can relook at it now because we bat with Wokes and co in. We can bat right down the order, so you don't need as much a batsman, a wicket keeper that can bat. And I think we proved that in the recent Test matches when we put 5 bowlers in.
The only thing I would say, though, is we keep winning with this type of setup. So do you change your winning formula? I don't think you do. I personally, I would.
Well, shall we see if it works for Australia?
Yes, yeah, that would be more interesting.
I'm disappointed.
That's the test.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They
it-
don't- unfortunately,
element-
they're not playing the Aussies in a test, are they? It's only 1 day.
Yes, and it's a different game. And Keith, I think you're right. I mean, Shanks used to use that adage, never change a winning team. But I think you've got to stay one step ahead. And it's, what are you going to do next season? And I think it's worth trying this wicket-keeper out if we are confident we've now got a batting order that holds together and doesn't collapse.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Lowell.
Well, we'll finish off with football. Got quite a little bit to talk about on football. Now, Dean Henderson, he signed a 5-year deal worth up to £120,000 a week at Manchester United, making him one of the highest paid goalkeepers in world football. He will not be going out on loan this season, but he's going to stay with Manchester United and compete with David De Gea for the number 1 spot. You think he's got a good chance of starting, or do you think he'll still be number 2?
Number 2.
You think so?
He'll still be number 2.
After De Gea's second mistake of the season, it'll be Henderson in.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think
He's only got to make 2 more howlers and he's gone.
He's out. Absolutely. Confidence
Right.
goes very quickly at that level.
It can be confirmed that £4,583 has been pledged for mental health charity partners Heads Together, Mind and Calm, following an auction of unique match shirts worn by Sheffield United when they played Bournemouth in February. Bids for each of 18 shirts worn by the matchday squad began at £100. The highest bid was a shirt worn by Billy Sharp, which raised £660. Dean Henderson's goalkeeping shirt made £460 and Sanderberger's made £390. Did you put a bid in, Keith?
No.
Don't you
No,
think he's
Dave?
got enough shirts?
But it ain't got room for any more.
Yeah.
I didn't put a bid in, but I know someone who's got George Baldock's shirt.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My
What did
son,
he pay for that, Dave? Yeah.
I don't know. It was on Facebook, and she said her husband didn't tell her how much he'd pay for it because she quite likes Gorgeous George. She says.
It was for a good charity anyway.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my son,
Chris, did you bid, Chris?
No, Keith, I can't aspire to such huge sums of money. I haven't got the spare cash these days that allows me to even get the pink shirt.
Yeah. All the spare room in your museum.
Loft.
my son's just bought a Virgil van Dijk's shirt that's spouted and signed and autographed. Absolutely
Yeah.
pleased as punch. He plays football, you know.
What,
Oh,
Van Dijk
who
does?
does?
Or your son?
Your son or Van Dijk?
Van Dijk. It's better than Mary Poppins. That's
He's got a better Cockney accent.
yes.
Keith,
Yes.
I've got a spare Chris Morgan shirt complete with blood and mud on it. Would you like to put an offer in?
Well, is that the blood from the Barnsley player he nearly killed? Yeah.
Well, you pick anyone you like, whoever he marked.
Do a DNA.
Right. Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Alan Ramsdale has been selected by AD Boothroyd in the under-21 squad for England's 2 UEFA under-21 Euro Championship qualifiers against Kosovo and Austria. Ramsdale has previously captained this age group, and this was the 8th international call-up for the Blades players last week. The other players called to represent their country: Sander Berge, Norway; John Fleck, Ollie McBurney, Scotland; John Egan, Ender Stevens, David McGoldrick, Callum Robinson, Republic of Ireland. This is a record for United. I can't think of any other time when they've had so many players called up. Can anybody else?
Well, it was World War II.
I was just going to say at the outbreak of war.
I think back in the 1920s, 10s and 20s, United had a lot of internationals playing, including the England captain. The only time a United player has been captain of England was Ernest Nudger Needham.
Mm.
You're making it up.
That's true. True.
True, that's true. Ian doesn't tell, Keith doesn't tell lies, Ian, that we know of.
No,
Why is his nose growing?
Go on then.
How are we for time, Keith?
2 minutes, 48 seconds.
I'll just do one or two more. Nottingham Forest have signed midfielder Luke Freeman from the Blades on a season-long loan with the option of a permanent move. The 28-year-old began his career at Gillingham, had a spell at Arsenal, then Stevenage. In 2014, he joined Bristol City, who won the Football League trophy and the League One title in his first season with them. Then he signed for QPR 2 years later, before coming to Bramall Lane last summer. And he seems to be a bit of a journeyman, that lad. What are your views on him going? I thought he was quite useful at times.
I thought it was useful at times, but you never know. I suspect he might be part of the Matty Cash deal.
Yeah. Yep.
If we get him.
What's that?
Right.
That was the opening 2 notes to Brown Sugar.
Teacups.
Coffee
You want to
time.
finish off when we restart, Keith? Because I've only got 2 or 3 minutes to go, and then it's finished then.
Who've Wednesday bought?
But
I've got a little bit about Wednesday to say.
never.
Any news
Say
on
more about
Wednesday?
United. Come on, let's have some more about United.
I want
I
to hear
need a
about
coffee.
Wednesday.
I need a coffee before we get onto Wednesday. God's sake.
Yeah.
Again.
What have they bought?
You've
Got a
got
good
new ball
assistant
boy.
manager, John.
Pardon?
They got a good assistant manager.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very pleased. Very pleased,
Yeah.
Chris.
Right. Is it worth carrying on, Keith?
No,
Yeah,
we're
that's-
now less than 1 minute, so we
Try
might
and take 2 or 3
wrap-
minutes afterwards, and you can go on to Chris's
Yeah,
life story.
we'll wrap this one up and go and get your cups of coffee and your biscuits, and we'll be back in at 1:15. Is that all right?
Yep.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
See you
See
soon.
ya.